Well, I got a call from the doctor one week, said he had some bad news, said my liver's real weak, said it'd take an operation to get me back on my feet, but I couldn't afford it. And my wife came in about a year ago, said she had been sleeping with my best friend Joe and decided she'd just pack her bags and go and live with her sister. Well, now I don't know why I was feeling so low, just 'cause I'd lost my job and I was out of dough. It always helps to think positive, you know, and I was still in Texas. Positive thinking surely has power, my friend. Just when you think you're at your wit's end, Lady Luck will come along and pick you up again, if you'll only think positive. And then one night at the local motel, there was a course they was giving about how to get well. I heard it was started by a guy named Dale. I think his last name was Carney. So I went on down to see what was going on. There was a room full of folks carrying on, and up in front stood a woman named Joan, and she started talking. She said, "Life is what you make it, my friends. You can change things tomorrow if you'll just begin to stop worrying about losing and believe you'll win. Trust me." I stood up and said, "Lady, my liver just failed, my dog just died, and my son's in jail. If I even had the money to go his bail, I wouldn't do it. And my wife just left with my best friend Joe in our only car that the bank still owns. My daughter got pregnant about 8 months ago, and she's still with me. And they've turned off the lights and disconnected the phone. The house is being foreclosed by the savings and loan. Now, I ain't the kind of guy to bitch and moan, but this is getting ridiculous." She said, "I'll bet you're glad you got that off your chest. Just when you think you're in a hell of a mess, that's when you should do your best to think positive. 'Cause throughout history, the wind's been blowing, the sleet's been sleeting, and the snow's been snowing. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going. But I am sorry to hear about your dog." But she said, "Positive thinking surely has power, my friend. Just when you think you're at your wit's end, Lady Luck will come along and pick you up again, if you'll only think positive." She said, "You got problems, and it'll take time, but before very long, you'll be doing fine. There's a special program I have in mind, so see me after class." So after class, she took me to her room. She said, "I've been looking for someone just like you, and besides, you ain't got anything else to do, so why not join me?" She said, "If you'll come back tomorrow night and tell those folks everything's all right, that you're doing fine and your future's bright, it'll sell like hotcakes. We can go on the road and live real fine. You can leave all your financial problems behind, and besides, we can have a good time." And she put her arm around me. She said, "I'll take care of the medical expense, and I know all the outs and ins, and besides, I don't think your wife has good sense, 'cause you're kind of cute." So I spent the night, and the very next day, my daughter's boyfriend took her away, and I got a check for unexpected severance pay from my former employer. A real estate broker took the house away. The doctor said they looked at the wrong x-ray, and old Joe called up and said he'd pay the lawyer's fees. Positive thinking surely has power, my friend. Just when you think you're at your wit's end, Lady Luck will come along and pick you up again, if you'll only think positive. Now Joan and me, we get along real fine. We're making money and having a time, and it's real easy to keep using that line about thinking positive. So if you find yourself feeling down and blue, I can recommend just the thing for you. Just catch our act when we're passing through, down at the local motel. Positive thinking surely has power, my friend. Just when you think you're at your wit's end, Lady Luck will come along and pick you up again, if you'll only think positive.